No. Some people calling in.
I was reliving that experience.
What happened this morning? You didn't feel good?
Last night, I went to bed with a little bit of a headache. Damn, 3 o'clock in the morning, man, I woke up with a split headache. Well, Doc's not here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then Denise is out of town. And Kurt, who's a sports guy, said he was going to come and fill in. Mm-hmm. But he was like, this is yesterday. I'll text you and let you know what time I'm going to be there in the morning. I'm like, okay. I never heard back from him. So, in my mind, I mean, I'm grateful that you're coming to help. But, at least just tell me you're not coming, you know? I can at least try to plan around. I never want to think like a cold break, but, you know, I do have trouble.
Yeah, you do. All right, this is the studio. Periscoping. Got DJ Scotty over here, the boss man, fixing up a door. Get ready to start the Guns and Gadgets. What is it? Tech Talk now?
Tech Talk.
Well, it was Guns and Gadgets. Now it's Tech Talk. Going live at 7. Got the essentials ready.
Get YouTube up and running. How do I do that? There we go.
These chairs are usually filled in the morning for the morning show. My co-host isn't going to be here tonight, so I'm going to be winging it for myself. There's some people calling in there. Get the app on, if you want to listen in, you can get the app on Google Play or the iOS store. Just search for that, Just Fun Radio. And tonight is Tech Talk. Somewhat Tech Talk.
And I have 1 minute. So, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have fun.
How about this? I started researching this. My iPad 2 is running a whole lot of stuff. And everybody's saying that the new update, that all the old ones are running slow.
Yeah, I mean they can if you do an update. A lot of times a clean install is the way to go. Hello, guys. Hi, Danny. And I'm guessing Keith. Actually, I better make sure my mic's on. Yeah, I'm live. All right. Well, on YouTube.
Fat ass wanker.
Look what I got.
Fat ass wanker. You low life piece of shit. Hairy cunt.
Hairy cunt. I love that one.
Hairy cunt. Cocksucker. Shit for brains. Fat fucking bastard.
Oh, God. Gonna have some fun with that tonight. All right. I have no idea what I'm talking about today. I have a list of stuff somewhere. Oh, that's me. Go ahead. Yeah.
So Abby, who was Rockville, is now applying for City of Monroe. City of Monroe is 9 mil. She has a subcompact 40. she's used to shooting 40 with Rockdale. So she had to borrow my 9 to practice to qualify for City of Monroe.
Really? Abby did?
Yeah.
Funny.
So her pattern, this now, where she's used to 40, she's now with a 9.
Nice. What's up, guys? It's I don't know what it is. It's Tuesday. Tech Talk. I'm Xander Mack. Alex, how are you? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hi to everybody on YouTube. I see you watching. What am I going to talk about tonight? I'm here by myself tonight, but I think I have a couple of people calling in. So I'll be winging it. I'm trying to control everything by myself. So if I have a bit of a cock up like I did last week, you will have to forgive me. This weekend, oh, blimey. So I went to the Decatur Beer Festival with Steven. I don't know if you guys remember Steven. He was on the show. And we volunteer there. We go each year. We volunteer and help out the city of Decatur. And it's a massive beer festival. Way bigger, by the way, than the Conyers Beer Festival that was last week. By the way, I have Scott in the studio. He's doing some DIY, he's messing with duct tape. And a few minutes ago, he was talking about the level of the lake going down, and he's messing with duct tape. So I'm a little bit concerned here. But anyway, went to the Decatur Beer Festival. Got hammered. So, like I say, we volunteer there each year, and that means you get a wristband and a glass, and you also get to drink for free, which is it was a bad recipe this year. Last year I was pouring for the Victory Brewing Company. This year I was pouring for Stone. Briley was pouring with me. Steven was right next to us with Founders, I believe. And we got absolutely wasted. It was a good day. Good times. I highly recommend that if you're into beers, if you like beer festivals, if you like meeting people and hanging out, go to the Decatur Beer Festival and have a bit of fun. It was awful. Got trashed. I want to talk about something that's been popping up on Facebook a lot today. It's this new film. Disney released a trailer for something, Star Trek or Star Wars or some shit like that. I don't know what it is. It's from what I can tell, it's the 7th episode of the exact same movie regurgitated for today's audience. Well, and that's what it looks like, right, Scott? It's episode number 7 of the same damn film we've all seen 6 times before now. It's got the same bear, giant bear or monkey, whatever the hell that is. The bear whisperer, his handler, he's in it. He's in it 30 years and 2 hips later. I mean, for crying out loud, they couldn't even get new actors for this damn movie.
How about today, somebody committed suicide or attempted to commit suicide because they were upset that the lead character now is black.
I saw that, and somebody started a Twitter hashtag to boycott the movie because they believe it's a plot to eliminate the white race. So yeah. Great. Star Wars. I don't know. I won't watch it. I don't think. I'm certainly not going to go pay to see it. And as I say this, Scott uncovers his curio cabinet of Star Wars memorabilia. I'm guessing he must like that movie. But yeah, it's the same old thing, same old characters. Couldn't get new actors. It's a bunch of robots killing peasants. Story done. That's it. Speaking of movies, big fan of the James Bond franchise, and Spectre is coming out, I believe, in November, which is the latest movie, and it's I'm going to search for the actual release date because I think it comes out in England next week, but in the US in November. But it's one of the movies based on new writing. It's not a Fleming story, an Ian Fleming story anymore. Yes, whatever. I think it's November. And I kind of have we can talk about the perceived timeline of these movies, because if you watched the last Bond film, it ended with him being introduced to Moneypenny. While Moneypenny was obviously one of the characters from the original films from the 60s with Sean Connery, and was a recurring character carried through. So the timeline, it was very clever. It, you know, it ended with him meeting Moneypenny with M, the male character M being reinstituted, which I think is Ralph Fiennes, the actor. So anyway, Spectre is James Bond's introduction to his arch nemesis, the organization Spectre. So the timeline, we could debate timeline, but it's set now. It's set in the 21st century. So here's my problem with it. Now that we've moved away from Ian Fleming's novels, why can we not modernize the rest of the franchise? And here's what I mean by that. We've got Daniel Craig, November 6th. Thank you, Keith. We've got Daniel Craig, who I think is by far the best Bond we've ever had. The most modern Bond we've ever had. Drives, you know, brand new fancy cars, wears, you know, beautiful Tom Ford luxury designer suits. Everything about him is modern, except for this damn handgun. For some reason, the producers of this movie are still trying to appease a handful of purists, and they insist on giving James Bond a freaking Walther PPK, a little 380 Plinker. It's ridiculous. Everybody knows if you know, the character of James Bond were alive and kicking today, he'd carry a Glock 19. It's a given. It's a no-brainer. Every agency in England uses the Glock, but for some reason, these people insist on making Bond carry a little 380 pocket pistol. It's ridiculous. And they also insist on him, you know, not training and not learning how to shoot the damn thing properly as it is, but that's another story. I think it's time to move away from the purist mentality and bring Bond truly into the 21st century. Get him using the most modern weapons and versed in the most modern tactics. Still, that's just me having a gripe. Oh, I got my show notes here, but I'm looking at the ones from last week. All right, so that's movies done with. I'm done bitching. Oh, I got this toy here from Scott. This is that's probably going to get me into trouble.
Fat ass wanker!
It's a little noisemaker, which has some wonderful insults on it. May end up using that a little bit tonight. I think we're going to have Danny call in a little later. She, I spoke last week about debloater for Android devices, where you can remove the pre-installed bloatware that the carrier puts on the device. She went through that process. I think I made it sound a little easier than it actually is. But Danny, I'll ask her to call in later, and she can talk about that whole process. I do believe Stephen will be calling in after 8. He had a few things he wanted to talk about also. In the meantime, let's talk about some iOS stuff. Nope, that's not the one. I wanted to iOS 9's Wi-Fi assist. So I mentioned this a couple of weeks back, a new feature in iOS 9, which checks to see if you have a weak Wi-Fi signal. And it will, if you do, it will assist your Wi-Fi with your data connection, your cellular connection. And I told everyone how you can turn that off, because in my opinion, that is a very easy way to blast through your data allotment and end up with overages from your carrier if you do not have unlimited data like me. Well, I'm guessing a number of people spoke about this and issued warnings, and Apple came out with a statement effectively criticizing everybody and saying we're panicking for no reason, and said that Wi-Fi assist is not is being misunderstood. It says Wi-Fi assist will not automatically switch to cellular, but only if you're data roaming. Which sounds to me like it will switch to cellular as long as you're not roaming, but what do I know? And it says Wi-Fi assist only works when you have apps running in the foreground and does not activate with background downloading of content. And Wi-Fi assist does not activate with some third-party apps that stream audio or video. So there's a little more information about Wi-Fi assist. I still have mine turned off, and I recommend that everybody else keep theirs turned off. But that's up to you. A little more Apple news. Apple Music. I did go ahead and subscribe to Apple Music. I missed those fancy playlists it puts out for me. The subscription process was a bit iffy, to be honest with you. So you open the Music app on your iPhone, and one of the tabs is radio. When you have Apple Music turned off, one of the tabs is radio. You click on that, and then there's a button where you can also subscribe to Apple Music. Now, normally when you subscribe to services on the iPhone, it's a pretty seamless process. This time, though, it was a bit of a nightmare. I hit the subscribe, and it did some thinking and asked me it eventually popped up with the options for either an individual subscription or a family subscription, which, by the way, are either $9.99 for a single person subscription or $14.99 a month for a family subscription, which allows up to 6 people to use Apple Music if you set up family sharing, which I got to tell you, I think is a really good deal. I went with the single person subscription, and so I picked that, and it chugged for a little bit and thought, and then it said, brilliant, and you're subscribed. It opened up the entire Apple Music interface on my phone, and I clicked on a playlist, and it said, do you want to subscribe to Apple Music? Sure, I do. Absolutely. I want to. I just went through the process once. May as well go through it again. So I click on it again, go through the whole process a second time, go back, click on a playlist. Do you want to subscribe to Apple Music? So I start to dig a bit deeper. I go into my account settings. In the Music app, there's a button in the top left-hand corner where you can access your account settings. And I go to manage subscriptions, and I look, and my subscription is right there. It says it's active. So I go back to the Music. I pick a song. Do you want to subscribe? Yeah, I go through it a third time. Nothing. And I couldn't get anything to play. It said my subscription was active. This is the first time I've had a problem similar to this with Apple. And it kind of got me thinking, am I going to be billed 3 times for this? So anyway, I ended up just rebooting the phone, doing a hard restart, letting it restart. It came back up, and then I was able to play songs. And I have not noticed multiple billing on my credit card, so I'm going to assume it was just a bug. But if you do subscribe to Apple Music and you run into those problems, instead of doing it 3 or 4 times like I did, just restart your phone, and chances are it's probably going to work. Tim Cook came out and said the Apple TV will be released next week, which is nice. A new Apple TV. It's been years. It's about time. Now people have also been saying that Tim Cook has been having a little wander around Hollywood, talking to as many people as he can about a streaming video service, hopefully TVs and movies. I guess what I'm hoping for is a monthly subscription to iTunes where I can watch any of their video content for a flat fee per month. I don't know what that flat fee should be. I think $20, $10 a month for music, $20 for video. It seems reasonable to me. Although I guarantee you it's going to be a lot more expensive than that if they come up with anything. However, the problem they're having is getting content providers to even sign on. I think they're concerned about Apple taking control of the entire video streaming space. I don't think that's going to happen. There's Netflix, there's Hulu, there's Amazon's video service. I think there's plenty of competition out there. But who knows? Maybe they'll have a bundled service where you can watch TV shows for one subscription price and then movies for another and then everything for a third price. But if the content providers get their way, obviously it's going to be cable subscription prices, $50-$60 a month, I'm sure. And I don't know. It just wouldn't be worth it to me when Netflix is $10. I'm trying to get messages about damn Apple Watch. But we'll see. In the meantime, with the Apple TV launch, in which now the new one supports applications, one of those applications I'm going to assume will be the Amazon video player, the video store. Well, it might not be, because Amazon just banned Apple TV products and Google's Chromecast products from their store. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but Apple could quite easily retaliate by banning Amazon's video streaming service from the Apple TV, which would be a disaster for Amazon. I've wanted to see the Amazon Prime Video on Apple TV for years now. It would be the only reason I would pay for Amazon Prime. But as soon as Apple add that capability to the Apple TV, Amazon decide they're going to ban Apple TVs from the Amazon store. What you going to do? I don't know. These guys are always fighting back and forth. All right, I got a break coming up, and I need a beer and a vape. So that's what I'm going to go do. You guys hold tight for a few minutes, and I'll be back. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, not so much. What's up with you?
Nothing. Just in a break right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching you. You're vaping. You're on about 15-second delay or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So I figured I'd call in. I got a bit of an update with the watch and stuff, and I got a couple other things.
Okay,
so
good.
If you were running out of things to talk about,
no,
I got to turn down the volume because now I'm just starting to hear myself.
Okay.
You're vaping. You're on about 15-second delay or whatever. Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah, no, that's good, because I have a smartwatch story I just pulled up that I wanted to talk about. When we come back, I'll just introduce you and talk about that real quick.
Cool.
How you liking it still?
You know what? I don't regret it at all. So it's cool. It's I think Android. Well, I'll mention it, but I think Android Wear is still developing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some cool things, that are coming out. So.
Well, that's yeah. I mean, it's obviously just going to get better and better. Yeah, we'll talk about this on air because otherwise we're going to exhaust every thing. Dude.
Exactly.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, the beer festival Saturday was an absolute nightmare. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
I saw your post.
Oh God, I got so fucking drunk.
I think you said you were beer fest drunk.
Yeah. I don't really remember what happened, but I was pouring beer and some guy came up and did something, and I'm there threatening to knock him the fuck out. I have no idea, but I can't for the life of me remember what he did or said.
He probably said, "Could I have a beer, please?"
Yeah.
I will knock you out.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Absolutely
cool.
wasted.
Nah, he was probably a belligerent dick, and you put him in his place, and he probably deserved it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was.
Hey, Gladiators start this weekend.
Yeah, they've changed their name.
Friday.
Well, actually, let's talk about that when we go back on. I know it's sports and shit, but I'm curious about that. I want to know about the name change.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they just changed to Atlanta for marketing reasons.
Oh, is that what it was?
We will be doing a tailgate on Saturday if you're interested in going. So.
Yeah. What time will that be?
Usual time, 3-ish.
Time, 2, 3-ish. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got a few minutes here. 3 minutes until we go back on the actual radio.
Yeah, I never hear your good music. So.
Danielle says your watch is still lacking the porn camera feature that hers has.
Well, Danielle needs to forward the links to the porn camera feature.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to. So I'm using Hangouts to do the YouTube video, and I've been trying to figure out how to invite people into the Hangout through their video.
Yeah.
So I tried sending myself an invite. I was going to invite myself, see if I could get it to work.
Okay.
So I invited.
Just to see what it was.
Yeah, I hit invite people, typed in my name, came up with everything. I said, send invite, and it came up with a little notice that said invite posted. I'll be fucked if I can find where it posted it. I have no idea where it is.
See, and I've never used Hangouts at all. It's always on my Android phone, I think, because it's Google, and and I even have it on my watch.
Do you really?
But I don't know what it does, so I've never used it.
Well, I mean, it will let you. It'll let you come. Well, theoretically, if I could get it to work right, it would bring you into this live broadcast as a picture-in-picture, as a picture-in-picture type of thing, so that while we were doing
kind of like a group video thing for I've seen them before, like with the Skype. You can get multiple people and stuff.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But I can't figure out how the invitations get sent. It said I told it to send it to my email address, but I sure have not received it via email.
Huh.
So I guess I'm gonna have to go through Google's awful support system. Have you ever seen their their help system? It's an absolute
good luck with that.
It's a nightmare. Good Lord. Yeah, there's that's never mind. I'm going to talk about this when we go back on the line, and then we'll talk about your watch.
Yep. Hi, Danielle.
In fact, I'm going to do a very professional segue to you. So.
Oh no, not professional.
You listen to this.
Are you going to have like the used car salesman voice?
No, I can't do that. Hey, did you hear my voice box?
Fat ass wanker!
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I want the fucking cunt.
You're a dirty fucking whore!
Oh, that's even better.
Very con.
That's even better.
All right, we're going back on in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back. So this week, a Romanian company, a startup company, they launched a new smartwatch, Vector Watch, owned by Romanian investor Radio Gorgescu, which is an awesome name, by the way. Officially launched its smartwatch in Romania on Wednesday. Here's the thing with this watch. Beautiful watch, by the way. Nice round gold, couple of pushers and a digital and a crown. The big selling feature to this watch, though, 45-day battery life. Now I got Keith on the line, and I'm going to say that Keith, you probably haven't seen 45-day battery life with your watch. I sure as hell haven't with mine.
No, I definitely do not get 40. I mean, I'm lucky to get 12 hours.
Yeah. Thanks.
I've actually seen reviews online that tell me I should be able to get 24 to 48 hours with this watch, and I mean, I'm doing the same settings that they are, and I get 12 hours.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let me remind people. This is my friend Keith. Keith purchased the Huawei watch.
Wait, we now have a pronunciation correction.
We do?
It is
Okay.
the Huawei.
Huawei. Okay. I prefer Huawei, but Huawei is good. So Keith bought the Huawei smartwatch, and you're calling in with an update. Yeah. So go ahead and update us. What's going on with the watch?
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, the battery life is not improved any. It's still about 12 hours. I put it on about 6, and right now it's sitting there at 24%, which is kind of it starts warning you at 25%.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you know probably this is a good day. Most days I'm like putting it on the charge at this time. But yeah, if I get 12, 13, 14 hours, that's the most I get out of it.
Really?
So it can probably use some improvement on battery life. Keep in mind, I keep the screen down to a 1, which is the lowest brightness setting. So now, having said that, if you can get it seated on the charger correctly, which is another challenge, charging is fast. I got it from 14% to 100% in less than an hour and a half.
That's great.
Yeah, it's kind of a magnetic charger. It is magnetic, but you still have pins that have to line up, and so I wind up having to fiddle with it to get it to actually seat exactly correct. And once it seats correct, it gives you a little pulse, and then you know it's good to charge. Mm-hmm. And that can be a little difficult. So it's kind of it's not like the Apple Watch where you just throw it at the charger and the charger grabs it and starts charging it. So you know the Apple Watch definitely wins in that respect.
Right.
You know, the other aspect I had of it was the it has a rating of IP67, which basically says that it is dust proof to however many microns, like the maximum there is. But it also says it's waterproof to 3 feet. But then it says don't go swimming with it.
Right.
So I'm guessing that's because when most people go swimming, their arms may go below 3 feet, and that's probably the threshold that they're not wanting you to exceed. I did submerge it under a running tap, and it's perfectly fine. So you know it survived. It survived that. I finally had to do that. So,
yeah, you know, the Apple Watch is the same way. It has the same rating. It's supposed to survive 3 feet for up to an hour. And Apple say don't go swimming in it also. But they do state their recommended way of cleaning the watch is to rinse it under running water. So,
yeah.
know, I think, and Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, says that he showers in his and everything. And I know people do swim in them because I've seen videos of it. People have done it just to test it, you know. So I imagine you'd be perfectly
And if you're
fine.
not going under 3 feet, you're okay. Obviously the watch is susceptible to pressures, and we know that pressures greatly increase as you
Yeah, the deeper you go.
even go down a couple of feet.
That's right. Yep.
You had asked me about that quintessential app for the watch,
Yeah,
and I don't have one.
That must-have feature.
Yeah, the must-have feature. But I will say must-have features for a watch in general are, things like the stopwatch, the timer, alarms, your convenience cards, obviously the fitness info. Those are always a really, nice to have on a watch versus a phone type things. And those kind of things make you want to have the watch. And then, of course, the fact that this is like one of the nicest watches out there, I think that's kind of the combination that might sway you towards that watch.
Yeah.
There's no real app that's really the coolest thing that you have to have. I did find a really cool weather radar app, and it displays like all the temperatures, the forecasts, the weather radar right on your watch. As I mentioned last week, a lot of the watches functions are around notifications. So all the notifications that show up on your phone show up on your watch, but nothing much more. So you wind up with kind of an extension to your notification system. Now, one app I did find that was really cool that already existed was Zillow. So if I'm sitting there and I open up Zillow, it'll show me houses on my watch that are in the area that I'm standing in. So that was kind of a cool little thing.
It is.
Yeah, so it kind of tells me that app designers are maybe hopefully building towards watch apps. So we'll see if those show up. There was one that I really hoped was in there. There's one that came with my phone, Samsung S Health, and it's now available in the App Store, the Google Play Store. But it does more than just your typical fitness tracking, your steps, your activity, and your heart rate. It allows you to enter in the food you ate. If you have a blood pressure monitor, you can put that sort of information in. All sorts of extra information. That does not in any way sync with Android Wear.
Oh.
So that was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, that is disappointing because
yeah.
Right now on the Apple Watch, if I were to say there was one, again, it's not a killer feature, it's not a must-have thing, but it would be the fitness tracking, the heart rate monitor, and because on iOS and with the watch, everything works together. Even third-party applications have access to the watch hardware, and so they can monitor your heart rate and your steps and elevations climbed, because the watch has gyroscopes and accelerometers and all that stuff in it, so it knows for the most part what you're doing at any given time. And I do use the health tracking. I have it set to where I have to burn X number of calories per day in activity, and my watch keeps me updated of how I'm doing. I also have it set, it comes by default, I should say, to where it makes you get up and move around at least once an hour, to just get your legs working and get some blood flowing and things like that. But there's the default health app on iOS gives you daily graphs and information every day of your activity levels. But then you can use third-party applications like MyFitnessPal to monitor your food, right? You can enter in the things you've eaten and it will calculate your obviously your dietary calories, while the watch and the Apple Health app calculate things like your resting calories and your activity calories burned and things like that, and it all works together. It's great. So it's
Yeah.
But you're saying that the S Health, it doesn't use the watch in that way?
No, in fact, S Health, which is Samsung's health program, doesn't sync at all with the watch. I mean, it doesn't see the steps from the watch. It sees nothing. And it's a great app because it has all of that in one app, which is what I really liked about it.
Does it at least synchronize with their own watches?
I believe there are a set of watches it does synchronize with.
Okay. Okay,
yeah.
that's what it is. Have you looked at apps like MyFitnessPal and Runkeeper to see if they have Android Wear compatibility?
What I've been searching for mainly is because, you know, there's a ton of fitness apps. There's Google Fit. There's, I mentioned that the watch came with a couple of fitness apps that are kind of annoying bloatware.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't found one that tracks everything in one app, like S Health did. And so I'm hoping that it'll eventually, you know, they'll bring this. I don't know if they bring it Android Wear directly into it, or if they bring that watch into it. I'm not sure how that all works. So
yeah, I mean, these platforms are young; they're in their infancy, and I think they do have a long way to go. But yeah, I imagine you're going to start to see a lot more compatibility.
yeah,
It's a shame though that, you know, Samsung is so closed. They're very closed off company, and I remember when the very first Samsung Galaxy Gear watch came out, and it was only compatible with one phone at the time. I want to say it was the Galaxy S4 or something like that. Was the only phone it would actually work with, and if you didn't have that phone, don't bother buying the watch.
yes,
Yeah, kind of silly, really. Now, yeah, look, let's go back to battery life real quick. Are there any, other than keeping the screen dim, is there anything else you can do on the watch to maximize the battery life people need to know about? Because
No.
I have a number of tips for the Apple Watch that I'll give out in a little bit, but
yeah, not a lot that I've read. It has a Wi-Fi option, which I tried to turn on for a little bit, thinking maybe that would help, but it actually uses more. So, you know, I mean, obviously on most phone, watch, even laptop devices, your biggest battery drain is your screen.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got that at what I think is the lowest setting I can possibly have, and it auto dims within seconds after, you know, I've looked at the watch face. So it's just it's going to have to improve.
Yeah, I mean, if they advertise it as 48 hours of battery life, you would think 14. There's
the 48 hours that I read was a review, which that was from CNET, so I kind of believe them, but I haven't been able to reproduce it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, on the Apple Watch, I can. There are a number of settings you can adjust. For example, the number of times it takes your heart rate. For example, right? I think by default it's set to monitor it every 2 minutes, and I know you can change that to, you know, every 10 minutes or every 20 or every 30, things like that. The screen, the entire screen timeout where it turns off completely. You can adjust that. Not just to where it dims, but to where it turns off completely. You can turn on and off some of the effects like fade-ins and fade-outs, and, you know, transitions. You can disable those entirely, so it's not using that graphics processor as much. It's just little things like that. I don't know if you found any. I would maybe search for some battery saving tips online and see what people come up with.
Yeah, and I will definitely do that because I would love to see a little more battery life.
Yeah, I mean it's no different than your cell phone. I'm always looking for ways to extend the battery life on my phone, and there are a number of things you can do to help that. I've done a bunch with the watch. Now, also remember it's your first week. You've been using the watch, I'm sure, quite a lot. Also, my first few days with the Apple Watch, the battery life was awful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was constantly charging it, but now I get a full day out of it easy with probably 30% left at the end of the day. So, yeah, I think you'll probably find your battery life coming up a little bit more. But yeah,
it could be.
Yeah, my use case scenario is very similar to yours. It's basically notifications, but I also use some of the health tracking.
Yeah.
And people are coming up with some neat apps, like Uber have an app on here now where you can just open it, press a button, it'll bring a car to you. Although maybe not so much in the future, since they're talking about going on strike.
I saw that, but I thought that was only in California.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to make that spread all over the country. Although it's funny, they're not even.
Yeah, I think it was 1,200 people out of their 700,000 people.
Yeah. Not even employees
like
either. Not even employees. Just show up every now and then, drive their car about, and then they're like, "Nah, we're going on strike." Yeah, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later because I think their demands are a little bit crazy. I think they don't understand why people use Uber, which is funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the watch and you don't regret buying it, so that's good.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah, and obviously it can only get better. Or at least
exactly.
I think I've seen this one progress, as new versions of the operating system come out. And I don't, isn't there a new Android Wear operating system on the horizon? Isn't it supposed to drop with Marshmallow or shortly after Marshmallow?
I'm hoping there is because it can only. I'm assuming that they'll address a lot of battery life issues. So.
Yeah, and hopefully take care of the fitness tracking and integrate the Google Now. It has Google Now though, right? Does it have?
It does. It has Google Now. It has, like I said, it has Google Fit. It has all those. It's that one app, S Health, that just doesn't sync with it.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And that's not a function of Android Wear. That's a function of Samsung.
Samsung. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm sure there are other things. There have to be, like I say, MyFitnessPal and Runkeeper. I know in on iOS, in both of those applications, you can add a device to the application, and from that point on, it just monitors everything for you. So I would check into that, and maybe that will give you some functionality. All right. Well,
yeah, I guess I was kind of trying to just get it all in one app,
Yeah. All right. I got a break here, and I need to go grab a Guinness.
A Guinness?
Yeah. I'm drinking a Heineken at the moment, and it's it's not Guinness. Keith, anyway, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for the update. And
all right.
Like I say, if you get that health stuff working in and out, or if you come up with anything that's just a must-have, let me know because I want to know about it too.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, man. And I'll see you Saturday. Oh shit! Ah, man. You want to hang on through no, it's going to be a long break. You want to call back after the break because I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, I can hang on.
Okay, I want to talk to you about the Gladiators. All right, guys, we're gonna go we're gonna jump to a break real quick, and we'll be back in a few minutes. It's this break is kind of a long one. This is until 1758.
1758. Oh, that's only like 5 minutes or so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. All right. I'm gonna run and grab a Guinness real quick. Hold on.
All right. Yeah. If I set the phone down, I'll set the phone down.
Okay. Yeah, Uber drivers threatening to go on strike. A bunch of assholes. Where? You always had a door. Yeah, no, it's a nice it's a nice door for sure. Uh-huh. Okay, Guinness.
I'm back to the Cabernet.
I love that joke. I really like
Every now and then, there's a little gem.
Yeah, I did like that joke. Whoa.
Have you heard of Skinomi? Skinomi?
No, what's that?
So my cube mate had a new skin for his phone, Skinomi, Skinomi.
Okay.
So I ordered one through Amazon
Uh-huh.
for my phone, and I wound up ordering what's called the Tech Glass,
Mhm.
which is cool as hell. It's like 0.33 millimeters, but it's like a hard
Hardened glass.
plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it made
And
by
it's awesome.
is it made by Skinomi?
Yes.
Skinomi? Yeah, Skinomi
Yes.
glass. Yeah.
Yep.
I've had those glass screen protectors on my phones before. And I do like them.
Mhm.
So they're on Amazon. Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's
And it seems very much like it's almost like the screen itself. Like you don't notice like remember with Best Skins Ever, you always felt that rubbery drag.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get that with this.
Although with
awesome.
we'll talk. No, actually, we can talk. People are watching on YouTube with Best Skins Ever anti-glare screen protectors. You don't get that rubbery feel anymore.
Okay.
But
I
the
haven't
reason,
bought a Best Skins Ever in years.
Look how cheap these glass things used to be $30-$40.
Yeah, it was like $10.
Oh, I'm talking about this when we go back on the radio.
And then I got another one for my phone. It was the more rubbery one, but it's not as rubbery.
So what was the first one you bought for? For the watch?
Okay, so the one I got the one I got for my phone was the Tech Glass. The one I got for my watch was the rubbery one.
Mm.
And the cool thing about the rubbery one is it was $6.95, but it came with 6 of them.
That's good.
So I'm guessing I'll never have to buy another one.
Yeah. So
Apple, assuming, of course, I don't lose it.
Dude, they have glass. So the tempered glass screen protector for my iPad. Damn, I just lost my browser. For my iPad Mini for less than $10.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ordering some.
And if you have Amazon Prime, it's free shipping.
I'm ordering some of these tomorrow, and Danielle said she's gonna hook me up with Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I just did a trial of Amazon Prime. I think I'm hooked.
Yeah, I went through the trial, and I ordered.
I don't see me not renewing.
Yeah, I ordered a few things while I was doing the trial, but mostly I did it for the video because Amazon Prime now is the only place you can watch 24.
Really?
Yeah, it's Amazon bought the rights to the to be the exclusive online streaming for 24, which is a shame because I used to watch that on Netflix and I would just rewatch it over and season after season over and over. So, yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, I've seen it. So,
all right. I'm not going to play this second song because that's been a long break. So I'm going to remove that. And we'll go back live after Bohemian Rhapsody, which is in 1 minute. because that was a pretty.
I
long
see a
time.
little skeleton of a man.
Scaramouche.
Would you do the fun? It's either we said there would be karaoke.
Yeah, the unfortunate people on YouTube, of which you're one. You're one. You get to hear it twice.
I get to hear me and you.
That's right.
And Danielle's heard us both.
Can they not hear you on YouTube?
I don't know.
Hey Danielle, can you hear Keith on YouTube? All right. Here we go. All right, guys, we're back. Still talking to Keith. I had him hang on throughout the break because there was a couple of things I wanted to get to. So, Keith, Gwinnett Gladiators, or now the Atlanta Gladiators. What happened there?
So yeah, they decided to rename the team mainly to try and market them towards the entire market, the Atlanta market. So. You know, I think it's a good thing. They haven't gone from their main, colors or their main philosophies. They're just, renamed to be kind of broadened to attract the bigger market.
Okay,
so,
well that's good.
I think it's a good thing.
Same logo, same team branding, everything, but now it's Atlanta instead of Gwinnett.
Exactly,
okay.
Exactly. But the arena is now the Infinite Energy Arena. So we've got that. Yeah. So we got corporate involvement now as opposed to
Tampax Stadium. You've seen
at least it's not that.
You've seen the movie. Yeah, you've seen the movie Basketball, right?
Yes,
they have all this ridiculous stadium sponsorship. By the way, the Atlanta Gladiators guys are our local ice hockey team. They're still in the same league and everything, right, Keith?
Yeah, they're a
ACHL?
professional ice hockey team in the ECHL, which is basically the ECHL feeds the AHL, which feeds the NHL. So our affiliates are the Boston Bruins and the Providence something or another. I'm not sure if they're the Bruins as well.
And opening game is Saturday, or the home opener at least?
Opening home game is Friday night.
Friday night, okay.
And then there's a second game Saturday night.
And do they still have $10 tickets?
I believe they do. I haven't purchased any. Last year they were $10 for the cheapest seats, and then $11 if you bought them the night of.
Yeah, so $10 if you buy them online, and $11 if you buy them at the box office.
Exactly.
Okay, and hopefully those prices still carry over. And here's a little tip for you guys: if you do, just buy the cheapest seat and make your way down to section 100 and come sit with all of us.
Exactly.
For $10 or $11 at the door, you can come down and hang out with us for the Gladiators. Or it's still the and now I'm getting confused. Wait, it's still the Gladiators, right? Yeah, it is.
It's still the Gladiators.
All right.
Yes.
So anyway, while we were on break, Keith and I were talking about screen protectors, because I've used a company for years called Best Skins Ever. We all have, Keith and Danny and Stephen and Briley. We all use BSEs, but Keith started talking about the tempered glass screen protectors, and the last one I had was on my iPhone 4S, and it was $40 just for this glass screen protector. Keith, you found you found out about a new company selling these things.
Yeah, I mean, it's called Skinomi or Skinomi. I'm not. Again, here we go with the pronunciation.
So it's SK.
I seem to find these.
I'm going to say Skinomi. SKINOMI. Skinomi Tech Glass.
And so I initially was looking for one for the new watch because I said, hey, I need a screen protector for the new watch, because you're always banging your watch into things, right?
Mhm.
It makes sense. And my office mate had one for his Apple Watch, and he said, "Oh yeah, I use this Skinomi." And so I said, "Okay, I'll just go to the same thing and see how much they are." And they happen to have them on Amazon, and they were inexpensive. In fact, it was $6.95 for 6 of them.
For the watch. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, for the watch. Where last time I bought something from Best Skins Ever, they were, I think it's $8 or $9 for one. And now, admittedly, it wasn't for as small as a watch. So,
Mhm.
I mean, Best Skins Ever may have a better price for that. And so then I said, well, what the heck? I'll look and see what the price is for one for my phone. And I wound up looking at the Tech Glass because I didn't realize it was different from the spray-on
Yeah,
kind of
the liquid adhesive.
liquid
application.
adhesive. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I wound up buying it was 0.33 millimeter Tech Glass, and it is amazing. It's very, very much like the screen. So when it's attached, it feels like the screen. It
Yeah, so it's a sheet.
very easy to adhere.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a sheet of it's a thin sheet of tempered ion glass, ion hardened glass. And like I say, I bought one for my iPhone 4S years ago from a company, but it was $40. Well, these things, I'm looking at their website. They have them for the new iPhone, the iPhone 6S, for $8, $7.95. That's cheaper than Best Skins Ever 3M film screen protector for ion hardened tempered glass. That's amazing. Here's the most amazing thing, or to me anyway, a tempered glass screen protector for the iPad mini for $10. For $10. That is unbelievable. Now, how was the application of that? Most of these things, you just lay them in place and then press in the middle, and you watch it get sucked onto your screen.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what happened. I mean, obviously you had to really clean it very well, but it came with everything you needed. It came with a felt pad not felt pad, but like a lens cleaner. It came with alcohol swab. It came with a sticky thing that you kind of put on your screen to pull off dust that's stubborn. So, all that was included. And then, I mean, the interesting thing with the Tech Glass is once you lay it, it's staying there.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to be, I wouldn't recommend you doing it like while we're out of the tailgate.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. So I'm looking on their website right now, and they even have the tempered glass screen protectors for the Apple Watch. Now, of course, the Apple Watch has a curved screen. It curves off at the edges.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work.
Well, all this does is covers the center of the glass. It leaves but that's where impacts are going to happen generally is, you walk by.
Yeah, but I'm thinking
you knock up against a door jamb, it's probably going to smack it in the center. I'm going to order one.
I'm thinking if it's curved, it may peel up or
no.
on the edge.
No. The Apple Watch glass is curved off. It curves off at the edges. So, but the tempered glass screen, all that does is covers the flat part of the Apple Watch. So it doesn't cover edge to edge is what I'm saying. Here's a funny thing. The one for the 38 millimeter Apple Watch, $15, and yet the screen protector for the iPhone, $8. Yeah, it's like 1/5 the size and double the price. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, well, that's brilliant, Keith. Thank you for mentioning that. I'm going to order a couple of those tomorrow. and test them out because I do love those tempered glass screen protectors.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool, and I feel so much safer with my phone right now. So.
Well,
We'll see how it goes.
Obviously, until you drop it down the side of your lazy boy, crush it.
Hey, who here hasn't done that?
Right, who hasn't done that? All right, brother. Well, listen, I appreciate you calling in.
I'm going to hang up and let other people call in.
All right, thank you. I'm going to ask Danielle to call in and talk about. Actually, we'll do that after the next break, Danny. Keith, take care, brother. Unless you've already.
All right, up. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So here's one of the things I touched on with Keith. Oh, what's this here? Call it. All right, we're good. Uber drivers in California planning on going on strike. They're all pissed off. So now here's the funny thing: these guys, none of them actually work for Uber, and Uber don't want them to, because then Uber will be on the hook for benefits and health insurance and things like that. So they're all independent contractors, and there's no set times for these guys to go to work. You drive when you want to drive. You know, for a lot of people, it's a great way of making money. I know a guy out in Rockdale. He owns an emissions testing station. But also one of the things he does is drives for Uber. He does Uber on weekends. He drives, he's got a brand new 5 Series BMW, so he does the luxury Uber cars. And he says he'll work Friday and Saturday night, and he makes enough money to make, in those, just working 2 nights a week, he makes enough money to make the payment on not only his BMW, but also his wife's BMWs. So there's money to be made there, obviously. But apparently in California, Uber drivers are planning on going on strike. I believe this weekend. It may have been the weekend that just passed, unless the company Uber agrees to some demands. Now, I think the demands are ridiculous, but you know, that's me. I'm not a big go on strike union type of guy. So they want Uber to increase fares by 60% nationwide. In other words, let's price them the same as regular taxis, which is insane. The reason Uber is successful is because they're cheaper and more convenient than a taxi cab firm. In addition to that, they want a tipping option added to the application, which I get that. I understand that. And I actually do think that should be there. The consumer, I think, does need an option to tip their driver if they think their driver did a good job, obviously. And from what I understand, the Lyft, the Lyft app, the Lyft application already has the tipping option in there. So that's good for them. They want a ride cancellation fee of $7. All right. I don't know about that, but I don't know that people canceling Uber rides is as big a deal as they're making out, but maybe it is. And they want the minimum fare to be increased to $7. So if you're just going a mile down the road, they want it to cost you $7 regardless. That I kind of do get that, to be honest with you. If you're going a mile down the road, walk. Get off your fat ass and fucking walk. But I don't know. So yeah, this 60% price increase, I don't believe it's going to happen. It's never going to happen. And if the drivers do go on strike, there's, you know, thousands and thousands of more people who are more than willing to step up and take their place. So I think they might be biting themselves in the ass. But this is what happens when entitled lefties over on the left coast get a bug up out their ass. I guess they start making demands. All right. So talking to Keith about the battery life on his watch, I think it ties in with battery lives on our phones as well. I was looking at an article the other day. It was 10 iPhone battery tips that actually work. So I wanted to run through a few of these. And, you know, this goes for any phone, if you ask me, Android, Windows, iPhone. Number one was limiting location services. So your GPS applications, I don't know if any of you know this, I'm sure most of you do. Applications track you, they monitor you, they use your GPS and they check your location. Facebook is constantly doing it in the background. We'll talk about Facebook in a minute, by the way, they piss me off. So what in most phones, you have an option to go into your privacy settings and see which apps are using your location, and you disable ones you don't want tracking you. That should be number one, because GPS is a battery hog. If you have the option on your phone to disable applications running in the background, go ahead and do it. The debloater app that Danielle's going to call in about later will probably help you with that. So number two would be to disable any background app refreshing. Limit notifications. If my notifications are actually quite limited, especially the ones that go to my watch. I have my notifications limited primarily to my email and Twitter. Those are the only things that will light up the screen on my phone. I receive notifications for other things, but I don't let them, pop up on my home screen and light up the display, because again, that's a big battery killer. Anything else can wait, in my opinion. It can wait until I open the phone and check it. So number four would be to turn off push email. I did this a long time ago when Gmail disabled ActiveSync support. I lost anybody with an iOS device lost push email support in the native mail application. Now, of course, you can use the Gmail app, which is push, and uses a lot less battery. So here's what I do. I use a twofold. I use the native mail application to actually manage and compose and send emails, but I have its checking features turned off completely. You go into settings, mail, calendar, and contacts, and I have everything set to manual. Then I have the Gmail application, which I let run in the background, which gets instant push alerts of my email, but it uses Google's IMAP idle process, which is far less taxing on your battery. It's obviously still uses more power than having it all disabled, but that's how I do it. I use a twofold approach. On an Android device where the Gmail app is the default, you probably don't have to worry about that one. Turn down your screen brightness. Obviously, that's a biggie. I use a twofold approach here. I turn the brightness all the way down, or let's say down to about 25%, but I also enable auto brightness. So when it really needs to, it will increase the brightness, but then it will drop down to that minimum when I need that to happen. Turn off automatic updates over cellular, over the air. In other words, both the Google Play and the iOS App Store will let you download application updates as they become available automatically without your interaction. But if if it's a 100 megabyte download per app, then that's going to use a lot of battery power for you. This is purely for iOS. This is app suggestions, and this goes hand in hand with your location tracking, because for some reason the iPhone will monitor your location and then recommend applications based on where you are. So if you're in Target, for example, it will try to recommend a Target application for you. That is power intensive, and you do want to turn it off. Number 8, on Android, you would use an ad blocker. In Safari on iOS, you're going to use a content blocker for iOS, and there are free ones now. These will block all ads and tracking in your browser, which speed up the browser so much, 4 or 5 times faster. But also, of course, part of that speed up is it's having to do less work and you use less battery. And again, it goes hand in hand with something I want to talk about Facebook, which we'll talk about after the break that's coming up. If your phone has it, use face down detection. Lay the phone face down. And a lot of phones will know you've laid them down, and if you do get alerts, it won't bother lighting up your screen. I think most of the Galaxy phones have that feature. iOS 9 has that feature now for any of their devices. I'm assuming any device that supports iOS 9, I believe they all have the light sensor in the front of the phone there. And this last one for iOS is to turn on low power mode. If you go to settings, battery, and flip on low power mode, that disables a lot of the stuff in the rest of this list. It turns off most of that. It turns off background app refreshing. It disables most location services. It turns off all of your email syncing and things like that. However, if I turn on low power mode, I effectively double my battery life. It really works, and it's amazing. If you have an iPhone, I highly recommend turning that on. Oh, there's Canary alerting me of motion at home. So let me check this real quick, just to be sure. So yeah, there's some battery saving techniques. I have to go to a break here, let some commercials play. And when I get back, I'm going to bitch a little bit about Facebook, and then I want to talk to Danielle about Debloater, and then hopefully get Steven on the phone and talk about a few things with him. We'll be back in a few minutes. Danny, it looks like I'm going to be back on at 8:22. If you want to call in at like, I don't know, 8:20, 8:22, something like that. I'm going to, I guess I should text you that just in case you're not listening, but, call in at 8:22 question mark. There we go. Here's good. I'm going to do a little Periscope real quick. Oh, shit. I just looked up Peru. All right, so I am on a break right now, running some commercials and playing a couple of songs. I go back live at 8:22. I got here's the radio set. This is for the live broadcast over the radio. This is the YouTube broadcast that's going live right now. Little iPad, things like that. All the sound and mixing boards and audio equipment and bollocks sitting back there. This is my show, Tech Talk, on Just for Fun Radio. You can get the application if you want to listen in. It's or go to YouTube and search for Just for Fun Radio. Got the essentials, obviously. Nice pint of Guinness, an e-cig. A little bit of Queen playing. So yeah, a weekly show, 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights. Used to be Guns and Gadgets, but I switched it to Tech Talk just to focus on technology. Just a local radio station here in Georgia. Again, this is the board where I control everything related to the actual over-the-air radio. This is the YouTube broadcast that's going out live right now. And all the equipment and gear that goes into running a damn makeshift radio station, I guess. We run shows just for Fun Radio. We run shows every day of the week, the morning shows every day. DJ Scotty hosts that. Let me see if I can flip this camera around. There we go. We got the morning show. DJ Scotty runs that every day from 7 till 10, I believe. Tuesday nights is my show, Guns and Gadgets, or sorry, now Tech Talk. Wednesdays is Electric High Radio with Erin Hill. She's a musician. Thursdays is Ladies Talk for all you ladies. And Friday, I believe, is the first episode of our sports talk show. Again, all these evening shows start at 7. Yeah, I think the first episode of Sports Talk is going to be on. It's going to be on Friday night. So tune in for that if you like sports. I have to go back on the radio in 2 minutes, so I got to stop this. I'm going to let you all go, and talk to you later. I think I'm actually going to play one more song and go smoke a fag because I just wasted half of my break doing a fucking Periscope there. What do we want to listen to? Give me a name of a song, someone. Too late. I'm going with Clapton. Ooh, shoot. I don't know what I just did. Oh, Lay Down Sally, yes. All right, Danny, we're gonna change that to 8:25, sweetheart. Sorry. $8.25, and you probably just heard me say that too, but I'm gonna text it to you as well just to be on the safe side. Damn, this is flying by. All right, I'm gonna go smoke a fag. I'm gonna leave you hanging. I'll leave the mic on so you know if I start yelling and screaming, you know I'm getting stabbed outside by the lake. Because we're on a lake. There's a fucking lake out here. It's beautiful. Hello.
Hey, Al.
Hey, you.
Am I too early?
No, you're fine. We got a minute 34. I am going to bitch about Facebook first, though.
Cool. No problemo.
Facebook.
Fat ass wanker.
What have they done to piss you off now?
Bastard. Bastard. Skip your brains. Cocksucker.
I'm trying to find the perfect one for Facebook.
Dirty cunt.
That one.
You look like
That
piece
is
of shit.
horrible.
Fucking dickhead.
God, that's
You smell like donkey
horrible.
shit. You're a douchebag. Lick my nutsack.
Lick my
Suck
nutsack.
your pie hole, bitch. Motherfucker. Fat hairy zit covered asshole.
That's them.
Alex.
Go to cum bubble. Teabagging twat. You should just smile and blow me. You're a shit stained ass wipe. Go fuck your mother. Cum dumpster.
Oh my
Cum guzzling
God.
fat ugly whore.
Oh,
I'll just use.
Fat ass wanker.
I use the wanker one because. That's right. And whenever I
oh,
say
that's
Facebook,
just
Fat
sad.
ass wanker.
so now whenever I say Facebook, there are going to be a bunch of fat ass wankers.
That's so bad. I don't even know what they've done this time. What have they done?
They're up to some shady shit, and they've been doing it for
Oh,
a
really?
long time. Yeah, I've been complaining about this for a while, and all right, here we go. And we're back. Got Danielle on the line. How are you, Danny?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not doing too bad. Before we get started on debobulator, bloater, whatever the hell it is, I want to bitch about Facebook.
Fat ass wanker.
Facebook are a bunch of
Fat ass wanker.
right. Anyway, here's what they've been doing. I've been complaining. I've been noticing for a long time that the Facebook application on iOS has been hijacking my audio. So here's what I mean by that. If I'm playing a song and I go into Facebook and start playing a video, it lowers the volume of my song, plays the video, then it's supposed to re-raise the audio of the volume of my song. And it's been opening out. It re-raises the volume to about 50% of its initial volume, and I'm thinking, well, that's weird. They're doing something to hijack the audio, and the only way to stop it was to force close Facebook, and then your volume went back to its initial level. So I've been tweeting about this. I've been sending tweets to Facebook, mean ones, obviously, and I've been sending tweets to Apple, to the App Store support, asking why Facebook's hijacking audio. Well, since people started updating to OS 9, a lot more people have been noticing this problem, and now it's gotten to the point where it's draining people's batteries. People are opening their battery monitoring app and noticing that Facebook has been using, like hours and hours of background processing tasks, even when you have background processing disabled. So Facebook are doing something to bypass Apple's, developer APIs, and screwing up people's battery life. And they've acknowledged the problem. Oh yeah, we don't know what it is. Oh, fuck, they know what it is. They know what they're doing. Here's what I think they're doing. I think they're hijacking the microphone. About 6 months ago, they released an update to the iOS app with new permissions. And if you read the terms of service, it said they're able now to use your microphone. They said it was for song recognition, right? You know how SoundHound works. You can say, "Oh, identify this song," and it tells you what's playing. Well, they said it was for that. I think they're listening to everything personally, because they are a bunch of
Fat ass wanker.
and I think they just got caught. I think they just got busted hijacking people's audio and microphones. And so here's what I've done. I've deleted the application entirely. I took it off my phone, and I'm using the mobile web version with content blockers. And I'll tell you what, it's the best experience I've had with Facebook in years. If you block everything and just use the mobile website, it is so quick, and you don't get any of those awful redirects to the App Store and things like that. do you get those on Android where you click on a
Yes.
link and it redirects you to the Google Play
Yep.
Store and shit like, oh, I hate that.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
they pissed me off. I think they got caught. They're not really fessing up to it. They're in their typical
Fat-ass wanker.
and so I've deleted the app. And anybody on iOS, I tell you, delete the Facebook application, get rid of it entirely, use the mobile website, but use content blockers, enable a content blocker to block all the faff. Don't worry about sharing photos and things like that because that's all built into iOS itself. You don't need the Facebook application for that, but do yourselves a favor, get rid of Facebook. You'll double your battery life and you'll be a lot happier. Anyway, Danielle.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
Still on Facebook. So, back in, I want to say March-ish, they went through some big, and I'm going to be talking way over my own head, so I don't even really know half of what I'm talking about, but there were some big sort of overhauls at Facebook, and I'm almost embarrassed to tell you why I know this, but I'm one of those annoying people that sells things through those parties on Facebook.
Right.
And one of the things that this whole overhaul was going to do was make it so that third-party apps couldn't post to your account on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we wankers that sell on Facebook do is use those apps to schedule posts. Because I don't sit there and schedule, a post at 8 o'clock, noon, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 7 o'clock.
Sure.
I schedule all that shit ahead of time.
Right.
So I have an app that does that for me.
Right.
And
But that's fine.
Facebook's new whatever, AP whatever things, we're going to make it so that those apps wouldn't work anymore. At least that's what they were saying. That was like the big hype. And everybody like I do the nail wraps, but there's like the nail wraps and the eyelashes and the fat pills that people sell through Facebook.
Sure.
Everybody was freaking out thinking that those apps weren't going to work.
Right.
Well, it seems that all of them, except for there's one that seems like it's still not quite figuring it out.
Right.
And they're still having trouble. They're called Tiny Torch, and they're still having trouble posting for people. But I've got one that, I pay $100 a year for them to post my shit, and they've worked. It's worked. But yeah, there was some huge, overhaul change thing back in March.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I thought it was like 6 months ago. And so I guess one of the, well, that's bad for you. If you're doing schedule, if you're doing scheduled posts, that's bad for you. Unless.
But it turned out it was fine because the apps, got together with Facebook and they rewrote their stuff. And it turned out that everybody got along fine, and the posting app still worked.
No, well, that's good. That's good for you. They're still raping my phone. I swear to God, they're just listening to. If you have the Facebook app installed on your phone, I swear to God, they're listening to every word you say through your microphone.
Why would they do that? Like
because they are a bunch of.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Bunch of fat ass wankers. No, why would they do that? I don't know. I mean, why would the Xbox need to monitor your heart rate when you're watching commercials? But it does.
Right.
The Xbox One camera does that. Of course, you have one of those PS4s,
really?
So yeah, I'm sure the PS4 does all kind of
that.
everything these days does some really shady, nefarious shit. I swear.
Right.
Which, by the way, professional segue is one reason to use debloater to get some of the nefarious.
To
get rid of nefarious shit off your phone. So we talked about this last week, and I mentioned it, and I think I made it sound a lot more simple than it actually was. I said,
you mentioned it in passing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like, debloater, it's free. You can get rid of all your bloatware. Well, you went ahead and tried this, right?
Well,
so
Keith, I know Keith is laughing his ass off right now.
Yeah.
Because I fell for it. You do that shit to me all the fucking time. Make stuff sound those cigarette letters don't mean anything. That doesn't mean us.
Here's the thing. In my defense, I didn't know until you and I started talking about it, and I started to dig in a little bit more to it. I'm thinking, oh, this is easy. This is an app. You just load it up, get rid of the bloatware. Because it even said you don't even need to root your phone. Oh, hell no. It's
Right.
So walk us through that process.
Okay.
Well,
And it really, I mean, it was actually a pretty easy process. If you're willing to get your hands a little bit dirty. So, first of all, there might be a Mac version of this debloater 3.9 out there. I couldn't find it, so I had to dig out first. Okay, we have one running Windows machine in the house. It's in Kurt's, what he calls his office, but it's really just like command central where he, defends the world from.
Right.
Where, he plays whatever video games he's playing. So, he's in there. He was literally a werewolf when I walked in on his 82-inch TV screen on the wall. So the room is, full of video gameness. And I walk in to use the Windows computer to hack my phone. Right after the end of your show, by the way, like as soon as the show was over, of course I had to do it. So at first I thought it was an app to go onto the phone. So I tried to download it onto my phone, and of course that just went over like a fart in church.
Right.
So then I did a little reading and discovered that, no, dumbass, you got to put it on a computer. Okay. So then I tried to download it onto my Mac laptop, which came up with that ugly little window that says, I can't do anything with a Windows app, you moron. So I was like, fuck. So then I went in Kurt's office and got on the Windows machine, at which point I was a little bit frustrated, but only, at my own stupidity, really. So downloaded it, and still didn't know at all what to expect, what it was going to do. All I knew was that you made it sound cool, so I was going to do it.
Right.
So got it downloaded.
Fearless.
So couldn't get it to do anything. So then I'm like, all right, I got to go watch the YouTube video. So I went and watched the YouTube video of what it does. And it's really it's pretty cool. So you download it and you plug your phone in, and it instantly, sort of, there's another step. But anyway, once you do the steps, it then instantly sees your phone, and you click this little button on it, and it'll run you a list of all of the bloatware that's running on your phone. And then you just start clicking the ones that you want to take off. And then you click execute, and it takes them off right then.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, no shit, I can do that.
Now,
so Kurt says, well, go ahead.
Now,
Yes,
does
what?
it actually take them off, or don't you have to? Isn't it
No.
a two-step process? You can either root it or not root it, and it does two different things.
Yes. Yes, it is a multi-step process actually, because you have to have the drivers on the computer. So you've got the app there, and then it doesn't see your phone for a while. So then if you're me, you figure out that what the little screen in the bottom of the computer is saying is, click this button if you want me to go find the drivers for your phone.
Right.
So it has to go and find the drivers for your phone. And then once the app sees your phone, correct. It's not real, because you can it's turning the apps off, because you can turn them back on, which is beautiful for me, because I will fuck some shit up. I will keep taking stuff off.
Absolutely.
Until my phone stops doing something I need it to do.
Damn
so then
right.
I need to be able to put it back on.
Damn right.
Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, and I believe that is the difference, because the video, when I watched the YouTube video, the guy had two different phones. One was rooted and one was not. And the rooted phone gave the option, when you were on the app, it gave the option of removing these elements completely from your phone. And I was like, oh shit, I don't need that. I only need, but if you turn and tell me if this even makes sense, because again, I'm talking over my own head, but I think you can turn them off, and then they don't use RAM.
That's correct.
Something?
Yeah, they won't do anything.
Okay. So the S Health that Keith mentioned, as you guys were talking about it, I went to see if I could get it to load onto my watch, which I believe it would have, and run from my phone had I not disabled it. So yet another example of some bloatware that I had turned off, but later I was like, oh, that'd be cool if I had that on there.
That's right. I think it's a good two-step process. You can start off by doing it the safe way, just by disabling things without removing them. And then once you've figured out if everything's good, just go ahead and nuke it.
I have no reason to root. I don't, and I started, so I'm on the Note 4 Edge right now, and I've got a Note 3, which I really kind of love, and I only got the Note 4 Edge because it's shiny and I didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to root my Note 3, which I'd never done because I didn't need to, because you can do all kinds of shit on them without rooting them.
Right.
So I started to, and it's not really a very neat process.
Oh, no.
Like, you kind of have to dig around and mess with it.
But you can do some great stuff once you've rooted. For example, I used to use a thing called Nandroid, whatever. So
right.
It lets you do complete backups to your SD card. It lets you load other operating systems. And basically, in other words, if you had a Samsung phone, you could load an HTC version of Android or something like that, and you can switch between, because it's all stored on your SD card. You can switch between these versions of the OS, on the fly. It would take 5 minutes to slap on a new version, but your phone had to be rooted to do that. But yeah, the initially rooting it can be a pain in the ass.
Right. Let me tell you what happened. I remembered this as I was like rooting around. I was like, why am I so gun shy? Why do I not want to do this?
Right.
The last time I hacked a phone, it was the iPhone 5S, I think.
And jailbroke it?
I jacked it up. I jailbroke it to the point where when you turned it off, it had to be plugged into a computer to reboot, to come back up.
Yeah.
Which is fine, no big deal. Whatever. Except that, didn't think a thing about it because it was running just fine, and I was able to, change things, and my iPhone was different from everybody else's. But I was flying to Atlanta and had to this was back a couple years ago when you had to turn off your phone on an airplane.
Right.
So get on the plane, turn off my phone, and I was flying standby. So Kurt needed to be able to get a hold of me to tell me, you're not going to make this flight. You might make the next one. You need to go here or there. So I turn off my phone, get on the flight, and like halfway through the flight, I realized I'm not going to be able to turn my phone back on.
Yeah.
So I get to the airport in Minneapolis, turn my brick on, and I'm like, wow, this is not awesome.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, I had my iPad with me and was able to get on the airport Wi-Fi, and we could message. And he's not a huge fan of me breaking electronics.
Sure.
And that didn't make him any more of a fan of it.
Sure.
But it just so happened that I didn't get on any flights out that night. And there's no like Apple store up here where we are, like on the lake, but there is one in Minneapolis. So I needed it to go just so that either I made it to Atlanta that night, or I knew in time to go to the mall, the largest mall in the country, which had an Apple store, before the Apple store closed. So you know what I mean? Like I needed to not be sitting at the airport at 10:30 at night trying to get on a flight.
So you'd used one of the tethered jailbreaks, which means you have to be plugged into a computer every time you restart the phone, instead of being patient and waiting for an untethered jailbreak, which probably came out a few days later, by the way. So
I can't hear you. I think I'm sitting in a tunnel. I can't hear you. I must be sitting in a tunnel.
Yeah. So
yes, that's what I did, Alex.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now, did you go to the Apple store just to plug into a computer and do it yourself, or did you go there to get help?
No, I went and got one of the geeks to do it.
Did you really? Because normally, because that obviously jailbreak voids your warranty. That's one of the things they
Right.
do specifically say. Oh, we're going to void your warranty if you do this. So you went to the Apple
Right.
store and said, yeah. So now, did you say
And I
I
no.
don't know what
No.
happened, or did you say
Yep.
nope, jailbroke my
Yep.
phone?
Yep. I found a cute boy and I batted my. Now, mind you, it's the geeks at the Apple store. So it's like the freaking cast of the Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah,
So I walked in with my phone
yeah.
and I batted my eyes and I said, I don't know what happened, but you've got to help me.
Oh,
And then he fixed my phone.
that is fucking brilliant. Yep. Yeah, I did an untethered jailbreak one time and realized how big of a pain in the ass it is. Especially when it's jailbroken and you realize how buggy your phone is and how often you have to restart it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yes. So that was my last big hack. But anyways, so back to this one. Sorry, I got us way off task.
That's fine.
But yeah, so I ended up on my Windows laptop. The program, the debloater program, is actually pretty neat. Once you get the whatchamacallit, the drivers for your phone, the debloater, I keep wanting to call it debugger. The debloater will see the phone. You click the button that says, list my files or whatever. You click the ones that you want to deactivate or turn off. And then you click a button to make it do it, and it does it. And I didn't think to look at my RAM before and after to see what the difference was.
Right.
So, unfortunately, I don't know. But what I do know is that one of the apps that I use for work to open lock boxes to go into houses, which I do in front of clients, doesn't work as well since something that I've turned off is turned off. It's a little buggy.
That's funny.
So, which I blame on the listing agent. I'm like, that bastard must have the wrong code in here.
Oh yeah, obviously.
But
so does it? I mean, other than that little bug, does it like seem any faster or anything like that, or does it just seem exactly the same? It effectively, is it worth anybody trying to do this? I would do it just because I want to get the icons off my screen. What I hate
and that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's my it's not ADD. It's my obsessive compulsive desire to be clean and in control kicks in. And I see these. That's
exactly it.
I see these icons on the screen and they fucking annoy me. And I just want to get rid of them. I would do it just for that.
Yeah, you're being a controlling bastard. I'm the same way. I did it because I wanted to get rid of an app that's not even on this phone. Like there was some NFL app that I don't even know if it was on my last note, but I was literally digging through the debloater looking for that fucking NFL Play app. And I was like, why can't I find it? So I looked back on my phone and I was like, oh, it's not here. Shut up.
That's brilliant.
One thing that had been driving me insane was that the phone will just like freeze up, and what it's doing is some kind of backup that it was doing a lot. And I found in settings that you can set it where it was doing it every hour, it turns out. So I found in the settings where you can make it do it only like overnight or something. Which had nothing to do with the debloater, but that was like a big, I was ready to get rid of the phone. It was driving me so damn crazy.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. While you were hunting through your files, you probably won't even remember, but you didn't happen to come across a file called Stage Fright, did you? Lib Stage Fright?
I don't recall that. What is it?
Okay. I'll talk about that after the next break, and you might want to listen in. Or you Android people. Getting all your shit.
I just made myself a note.
Getting all your stuff stolen.
Speaking of which, tell me if I fell for something on this. So when I was trying to figure out how to root the Note 3, I came across this supposedly super easy root program.
Yeah.
So I tried to use it a couple of times and couldn't get it to work. So then I decided to read some reviews, and people are like, "Do not use this. It's spyware. It's going to steal your information." Is that for real?
It could be. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Anything that can be used to root your phone can be used to install malware or inject malware or libraries and things to track you. Absolutely. In fact, that's how how Stage Fright is working. But Stage Fright is even easier because it can install just by visiting a malicious website. So yeah, it's very possible. I mean, it always helps to do a little bit of research first, and but neither you nor I really subscribe to that theory. We just go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah, and then
at the very
shit later.
Exactly. At the very worst, you go to the Apple store. I would fix my shit, but some people go to the Apple store and get their stuff fixed.
Right. Which, in the past was fine when it was just, a smoking SIM card or something.
Yeah.
But when it's somebody stealing your identity, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, that freaked me out.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So,
and both Apple and Android, I mean, they're both, I think, risky right now. Apple's had a number of vulnerabilities come up in the last couple of weeks,
right?
And I'm gonna talk about those after this break, which I have to go to because we're over by about 3 minutes.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna hold on.
I don't even know if they're gonna get to hear any commercials, guys. You might hear a commercial, you might not. We'll see. We'll be back in a few. All right.
Dude, we're gonna get fired.
Yeah. If I was on the television, I would be awful. Because if I had a live TV show and we went over on fucking commercials, they'd be pissed. All right. So yeah, okay, it's working.
But yeah, so that's what actually made me. I mean, that's why I stopped trying to root. When I saw that, I was like, I so don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna get myself into trouble, and I just stopped.
Right. I mean, after
that, I was like,
yeah,
what's this?
I haven't rooted a phone in a while. I have an iPhone 5C at the house, which I'm thinking of the iOS 9 jailbreak. I think came out Friday, so I'm thinking of maybe jailbreaking that and just to see what it can do these days. I haven't jailbreaking a phone in forever. We'll see.
I hadn't even thought about it because there's so much crap you can do on Android. I mean, yeah, I'm just so out of the loop that I'm weak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm weak. This cold weather has made me weak. I drove like literally 30 miles up north today to show some houses, and I was like, I can't believe I drove this far. 30 miles. I was like that's far. Isn't that funny?
It is.
Are you embarrassed for me?
No. No, it's fine.
Sad.
All right, hold on. I'm going to go grab a Guinness. Hold on. I have to go to the fridge.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right, holding.
I just splooged out all my nitrogen prematurely. There we go.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Guinness. Oh.
It's weird. I can't watch you and talk to you at the same time.
I hear you talking to me, but I didn't have my headphones on. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I said it's weird. I can't watch you and talk to you at the same time.
Well, because nothing syncs up. Yeah.
Right.
Nothing's actually syncing up.
It's like a Godzilla movie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my best
on the screen.
My best Bruce Lee impersonation.
Yeah. On the screen right now, you're pouring your beer.
Oh, Finished that a minute ago. Almost done
Yeah.
with drinking the beer. No, I'm not.
Like right now, you just set down your glass and picked up your headphones.
Wow, that is a delay.
It's just bizarre.
That's like 30 seconds,
Yeah.
I think.
That's why my text messages probably never make any sense.
All right, here we go. We're going to count. I'm going to flip off the camera and start counting. Tell me when you see me flipping off the camera. 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Just took a
13,
drag of your
14,
vape,
15, 16, 17, 18,
drink of
19,
beer.
20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, Jesus, 33, 34,
Nope.
35, 36, 37,
Too bad we don't have
38,
stopwatches on our watches.
40,
There we go.
40. I'm going to run out of numbers,
Flip.
so 40 second
Flip.
delay.
Yep. Yep. Wow.
Fucking Google, too slow.
Yeah. So for Amazon Prime, I have to add you to what's called my Amazon family.
Okay.
So either you have to give me your Amazon logon and password, or I'll just send you mine and you can log in as me and add yourself.
No, I can give you mine. I'll send you mine. I'm not going to, I won't.
Okay.
Here,
Perfect.
it's,
Obviously.
it's,
Yeah,
so
Well,
it's, Xander
me,
Mac.
you, and Keith. me, you, and Keith would hear it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
That's
send it to me
right.
and then I'll add you, and then you should have the free shipping, access to all the videos, all that stuff.
Brilliant. You say that. However, my last show, I think, has like 50 odd views on YouTube. So, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forget. People can. That's right.
That's right.
Yes.
A lot of
I was
people,
just watching us earlier.
a lot of people watch the replays, and we can look at the,
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was me for a minute. And we can look at the statistics for YouTube and things like that, right? And it shows you their attentive or attention or span or whatever the fuck it is. And literally, a lot of these people are watching all 2.5 hours of the damn show. I don't get it.
Oh, I turn you on and like do so. Like I have you on one screen, and then I have another screen on my computer where I'm working. So it's like we're hanging out. So you're like visiting with me in the background while I'm working.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. I'm one of those stupid fuckers that just plays you.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm guessing people do that because they're like, I think the very first show I did by myself has like 40, 50 views or some shit like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Very cunt.
You're an
You look like being a
you're an internet
shit.
sensation.
Not yet, but I plan on being. I'm gonna wheeze them
Yeah.
away on the
Yeah, we
TV
gotta-
somehow.
You gotta stop saying hairy cunt though. You can't say that on TV.
You can after 10.
Sorry. Nah, no. Mm-mm.
Sure, you can. I've seen. What was it? It was. I want to say it was episodes of Sunny, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where they dropped the old C word.
They do get away with naughty stuff now that they never would have when we were kids. Holy
Oh
moly.
yeah, absolutely. South Park is one of the worst. They say some awful things. It's funny as hell. I love
Yeah.
it, but that's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I should probably go and let Steven call in, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Because it's late there. It's an hour earlier here.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, and I only have
Yeah.
half an hour left.
All right, brother. I will talk to you later. It's good to talk to you.
All right, Dan.